discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll
No.
start with Nick.
Let me introduce him because he's already been approved. We approved this last year that he do this project. He just wanted to let this board know what he's gonna do. It's a parks project.
Okay.
So down at Davis Park, I'm gonna be building an 8 foot by 10 foot lean-to. Well, it's like lean-to, but there's no. It's just on beams for a picnic table, a shaded area for families to go and have picnics and just sit underneath the shade. It's for my Eagle Scout project. We have to do a community service project for us to earn the rank of Eagle. So that was my community service project.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, do you buy all the materials too? Do you have to provide the materials for it?
Yeah, I have to get the materials through donations.
Oh, so you've done that? You've gone around?
I need to send out my letter to Sticks and stuff, and I'm gonna try maybe from Koala Career Center and
Good.
get some donations. Like that's the second process after getting approved is
Okay.
looking for
Yeah.
donations.
We had said yes last year. We weren't quite sure what you were gonna do last year. Remember, we were
Yeah.
debating it, so that's good. When do you expect to have it done?
Well, I come back from Florida 27th March. So I'm gonna, if I can't have it done before I go to Florida, I leave the 18th. I come back from Europe the 2nd. And I leave for Florida the 18th. So if I can't get it done in between there, then I'll be done hopefully in the next 2 weeks when I get back.
Now, are you, I don't have a deadline for you, but do you have an Eagle Scout deadline?
Yeah, I have to get it before I turn 18,
When's that?
May 2nd.
Okay. So it'll be done by May 2nd. Yeah.
Is this something you can build at home and then bring it there?
Kind of big, isn't it?
I'm sure I could probably frame the roof and put the steel up. It's just the only problem would be making sure, I just have to make sure I have all the posts set in the perfect spot.
Oh, you're gonna set them in cement, right, the
Yeah.
poles? You gonna do that
Okay.
too yourself?
I thought the way you talked, it was gonna be on skids or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
now I understand.
You might wanna oversee that, or Scott, maybe, the putting in the cement, I don't know. Is there any, do we have any specifics that we have to do?
Well, may wanna go over it in a little more detail when we get there.
Yeah, you can talk to him.
Okay.
And what kind of roof?
It's just gonna be corrugated
Corrugated
steel.
steel, good. Sounds like a good idea, have a place for shade down there.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody's okay with that, huh?
Sounds good to me.
Good,
All right.
thank
Okay.
you,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Thank you.
keep in touch.
Oh yeah.
You want to just sit up here, Jeff? You? Yeah, go ahead, you can sit there. So, this is Jeff from, you're the road foreman for the town of Jay.
Okay.
And just came for discussion, between Scott and Jacques with possibly at least getting a contract or something created, and then they want to discuss the price of that as well, so I'll let you guys go.
Wait, did you say you're Jeff?
Jeff
Yeah,
Morse,
Jeff
yes.
Morse, okay.
So what are you looking for? You're still looking just for winter maintenance, Jeff?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, that's the only thing. When I spoke with them, they said that they were basically looking for winter maintenance, and then, like, if you guys see a problem, like we, in the past, you make a
Right.
phone call and say, this is going on, you wanna come fix it, or you want us to take care of it, and then just a case-by-case basis to that point. I mean,
Right.
that was about all they had mentioned.
You never had a contract, did you, Alan, of any sort? No. Because the town clerk told me over there that there was a contract, but I said, I've never seen one. I just think we should get something
It was a long time ago.
something in writing.
I mean, the price was always the same.
Like I spoke with Andy, I told him that's the financial part of it, nothing to do with me, I work on the roads, I don't.
Well, yeah, well, when we got called, it hadn't been paid for so many years, and she, the other town clerk, I guess she had another one.
That was my wife.
Okay, she
before.
called, yeah, she was easy to deal with.
Yeah.
She called and said, you know, we need to pay this up, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Well, if it's in writing, at least
yeah,
there
then
won't be no
we'll be
argument.
reminded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They, like I said, they just told me to come over and see what was going on, and if the boards both need to meet, you guys can get a hold of them and sit down with them and discuss everything to that point. I mean, I can discuss the road portion of it, and that's about it, you know, I don't know anything about that, I couldn't even tell you how much they pay, so.
Okay, so we'll talk about
The
that.
current is,
5, isn't it? Or
no, it's 6.
6.
It's 5 years.
And that was
6,000.
calculated in,
Whatever
when,
this pen
Last
is
year.
here. What's the pen, the date?
11/14/2018.
I think that's when John raised it the last time. Or somebody raised it.
And these are the numbers that he used when he did it, the $30, no, the $20 an hour, the 60 and the 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just went and took the current, what the current rates were
Yeah.
now, and then just recalculated it?
Right.
Okay, well, that's,
The mileage is
That's
basically
fair.
the same, that hasn't changed, or we changed the price per hour for the truck, and the price per hour for the labor, and the materials actually stayed the same too.
yeah.
That ended up raising it, what, another couple $1,000. I don't know, it's getting closer to what we feel we should be getting paid to do
You
it.
want a copy of that, Jeff?
Yeah, I can bring it back to them.
And that's just the, where did you get those prices?
Well, price per hour for the truck is the state
Yep.
equipment price that they're using now as of 2015, that one actually, that's the most up-to-date one I've got even.
Years back.
Yeah. That was at, that's $128 an hour for a plow truck. That was in 2015 V-Trans rates, equipment
I
rates.
mean, I can bring this stuff to them, but like I said, I couldn't
Right.
answer any questions about this, but I can certainly bring this to them, and
Right.
if you have any other questions for me.
Are we doing it now? Are we
Oh,
plowing
yeah,
it?
Yeah, we're,
So it's all,
Yeah.
no problem
Yeah.
right now?
yeah,
I mean, not on our end, there's no problem, I don't know.
No.
if it's-
we're just trying
Yeah.
to bring it up to date and have
Yeah.
something in
Yeah.
paper where it's
Yeah.
saying what we're supposed to do and this is what we're gonna get for doing
And have a
it.
contract or
Right,
a
something.
semi-contract.
Something at least.
Signed.
And I mean, we're halfway through the plowing season, so if we had already agreed on the $6,000 for this year, I mean, I don't think
Right.
we can change, we wouldn't change it, but just
No.
moving forward, if we created a new contract, I think it's dated on there, I thought it said
That was
right
just
here.
an invoice that Kylie,
Yeah, November
Right.
15th through March 1st. You know, we could just have a contract or something
Yep,
every year or just something so she has something on file here.
yep.
What's the raise of it? I got 6,000 up to 8710. Thank you.
And that would be for November 15th, 2020, correct?
right.
So this would be, yeah, okay, so
You just got
this
the
date going forward.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, if that
2020
works.
and 2021, okay.
I don't know if you can just have someone from the select board over there get a hold of,
Now, I'll bring, they got a meeting tonight, so if I get out of here, I'll scoot this over and drop it off to him.
Okay.
And Dave Sanders is the chair of the board, I'm assuming
You
he'd
can call Kyle
call
tomorrow.
and talk to
Right.
somebody and.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she can draft up some type of a
Yeah.
contract and email it over and,
It'd be best if they talk, like I said, if they, or one of you wanted to talk to David, that'd be best in the best interest of everybody, so everybody's on the same page, I mean, like I said, I don't.
Well, if they agree, we don't need to
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, no, I don't see any contention, but I don't, like I said,
Right.
finances, don't even talk to me about it, cause I got no clue, I can transfer the message over and that's all I can
Right.
do.
If he wants to know how we came up with the figure.
No, it's on here for-
We
I
can
under-
sit down and go over it. or
I
whatever.
understand it, I mean, it's-
State numbers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Like I said, we're happy with what they're doing, you guys are doing a great job, I mean, I drive the bus over there, I'm over there twice a day, so. And actually, in the past, it was getting done a little later, and now I haven't seen it not plowed yet, and I'm over there a little after 6, so. I've been doing a good job, we've never had an issue, so.
Good.
okay.
okay.
Are
I'm
you
good
Jeff
if you're
Morris
good.
of this, of Chauncey?
No, other side,
Other side. Cause there is a
Yeah, there-
Jeff Morris, yeah.
I've got his mail before, but I
Yeah.
don't know him.
But you know, and Jay,
Well, thank you for coming.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Take
Appreciate it.
care.
Yep. Have a good one.
Take care, thanks for
too.
coming.
Yep.
Dan, you wanna squeeze in now and Anita's back, so we'll still,
Squeeze her
I had
over.
swapped you with him, but I'll just have you jump in after him.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
When Timmy was down there, he picked it up, so it was close to the shift and he didn't go.
Oh, yeah, cause it
Yeah.
switched at 6, gotcha.
Okay, I just wanted to report back what, this is with the Wild and Scenic Association. Turns out they didn't have quite as much money as they thought they did. Thought they had 70,000, it's less than, but they decided so that they would so they would spread the money around more than one town. So the maximum's going to be 10. And what they're asking for, well, there's a couple things. First of all, let's see, I'll put it right down here someplace. I think it's
You had 10% matching.
a 10%
Yeah.
matching fee. And it's something like, where you've already started something, that money can be the matching fee. Now, if you're getting state money from the State Department of Transportation, that could be used. It's up, you know what needs to be repaired. And,
You had mentioned the Smith Road on this.
yeah, and that's
So
all
that
I'm
means
familiar
we
with.
could get up to 9,000 then. I mean, we'd provide.
No,
the
you get up to 10,
Yeah, but we,
10,000,
We'd have to match
but you'd have to
1,000.
put in 1,000.
right, so we get a clearing of 9.
Yeah,
Okay.
but since you've already probably spent more than that.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
but you
right.
give us 9 and
Right.
we'd have put in 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, the one thing is it has to be spent by the 30th of September. And let's see, and I did have did I put it in the, I didn't write it down here. So I don't see it, it should be here
Do you
somewhere.
want your email? to look at?
Personally, I'm gonna need my glasses.
Do you have an
First of May,
application?
that's what I was looking for. Deadline is the 1st of May.
1st of May, right?
Okay, so that gives plenty of time. Now, as I said the last time, if, I'm volunteering my wife's services to help, to write the grant. She's on board with this. She's good at it. And we did get the money for the library. So,
If they've already done the work, can we still get the grant money? Because a lot of the stuff from that storm has
it's
already been
done.
fixed.
Now, that's a question I don't know. I'm gonna have to, that didn't come up.
Do we have more to do? You said tree removal and
We
stuff, you
got
said.
more to do.
Yeah, there's more to do.
There's more to do. Okay, so I
Well,
think,
a lot of it's been patched up just so we can,
Do it
right.
later.
yeah,
Because I was
use the
thinking-
roads and get through and.
It seems to be there's the immediate patch-up work, and then there's probably, I expect we probably still have some stabilization work that needs
Oh, yeah.
doing. And I think, if the stabilization work obviously would be covered.
Right.
It's just that, what I'd like to do is, if you want us to help write the grant, I guess we've got to sit down
You'll need information.
and just figure out, what the projects are. One of the things they did say is, photographs are,
We have them.
yeah, okay, good, because that way they can see what, as you say, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Right.
We have a lot of pictures
Well, we got quite a few.
of the brook and stuff, the water.
So just, I heard there was something on Corliss Road that needs doing too? Is that
So there's a
true?
culvert there that we're gonna change, we got a grant to do that, but the time ran out on that, and we didn't
Oh.
have, access to the property, we wanted to get easements for the access, and we still hadn't had easements
so that
gone
one's out.
through.
You're reapplying
But we
for that.
reapplied for
Yeah.
that same project, but I haven't heard back from it to see if we're gonna get the state money for that.
So it
The
seems,
easements are still in the process.
yeah, that sounds like something's gonna take more time.
Well,
That's a
It's
big
not a
project.
guaranteed thing.
sometimes they go quick if the
Yeah.
easements, if everything goes good, and, and then other times people drag and they don't wanna.
But see, for this, would want a project, where you know you're gonna do it, and
Right.
it's gonna be done by September 30th. And then, as I say, I'm willing to meet with anybody to,
We've got a bunch of patch-up work, but most of it's either way more money than that or nowhere
Yeah.
near that amount of money.
But if you have to do it anyway, it'll
yeah.
be money towards
Right,
it.
I mean, if you gotta, right, I mean,
I mean,
this'll
it's
save
important.
you,
If
it
it's
saves you
50,000, you have
10,000.
10, yeah,
10,000 is
yeah, yeah.
10,000.
Right, exactly. It'll help.
So how would you like to work this? You want me to,
There is an actual application.
there is an
Your wife
application,
is gonna
and
do
I
it.
have, they were, it hasn't come out yet, at least I haven't
Okay.
seen it. It's gonna be similar to the other applications they've
I
had.
got the other
But
one.
this one is specifically for, you know, for towns, only for towns
Water
and
issue.
for, you know, basically for
Water-
restoring the damage.
Maintaining water quality, it's
Right, exactly, retaining the water quality, and basically we're putting it in because of the Halloween storm. So anything that, you know, water quality goes a long ways, you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And, you know, and I've got little pictures and videos of Smith Road being washed out and all that stuff going down to the river. It's very clear that
Needs to be, yeah.
stabilization of culverts is important.
Right.
And I think they agree, and they're anxious, and they're anxious to get rid of this money by
Good.
September 30th.
We'll take
Really,
it.
they are, I think that they might lose it if it's
Not used.
not used.
That's great.
So, I figure, do it. So,
Yes.
what do you want me to do? Anything?
You've done
I
a
guess
lot.
we've gotta figure out a project that matches what you've got for a grant, for one thing. We do have some other smaller culverts that need changing, that were problems that, you know, with that storm, that we didn't have funds for.
Can you combine a couple of things?
Yes.
Okay, you can take a couple small things, right, and put them to
Yeah.
the tent?
Okay, if we can combine, it
Yeah.
should be fairly
Easily.
simple.
Okay.
They don't have to be on projects that are fish waterways necessarily.
No, no.
So a smaller culvert, a smaller stream, just stabilizes it.
As long as it's feeding into the river,
Yeah.
one way or another.
Oh, we definitely
That's it.
got, we've
Yeah.
definitely got smaller culverts that
That's might be a good place
need,
to put
need
it.
upgrading and upsizing.
But it says here, it was decided to open a grant application process geared towards addressing the devastation from the Halloween Eve storm. So does it have to be something that was
Not,
affected
not
during that storm?
necessarily. I think anything, I mean, if it's, I think the storm pointed out that culverts are
Need to
are
be
vulnerable.
upgraded, yeah.
So anything that's gonna prevent this happening again is gonna be covered.
Right.
Something that was
Get back.
undersized
Email
should be
to
a good
you,
candidate,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and in places where the culvert has to be bigger, that should cover it.
Yeah,
I'd be willing to get together with you, you and
Okay.
your wife or whatever,
Yeah.
and try to make out an
okay, so,
application.
as soon as I see the final application form, I'll get in contact
Do
with
you
you.
have his number at the barn, up at the
Tell you
town
what,
barn?
yeah, why don't you put that contact information at the bottom. And,
It was nice of you to think of us. That's good.
I'm
Thank you.
thinking of you, think of me too. I pay taxes
That's
here.
right, we all. Thinking of the town of Richford.
Yes, speaking of the town of Richford. Oh, speaking of the town of Richford. Now, it isn't gonna work for this year, but I was thinking, one of the things that Richford is trying to do is get some, get people coming in and using, taking advantage of what the town has to offer. And one of the things is like the canoes, the kayaks,
Yep.
bicycles. There isn't much signage.
Well, the canoes went in midsummer. I
Right,
didn't have a
right.
chance to really get it going.
Yeah, because I saw those and I said, I'm not even sure, is this, I wasn't even sure,
Right.
because I thought, I
mean,
wouldn't
it's-
mind doing that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I wasn't sure who to contact.
I there is a sign on the
Yeah.
building now with phone numbers.
Right,
And you can, it can be at Robert's, but there are also phone numbers if he's closed, so, and they're free of charge and
right.
ready to go.
So what I was thinking is, not for this round, because the
Right.
this round is done as of this month. But for next year, we'll have another round of small grants, of 5,000. And a lot of the people that have applied for grants this year is for signage of various things like this. And so, you know.
I have that application, it's not due yet, is it?
Yeah, that was due
February.
the 3rd
Yeah,
of
it is
February, I think.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I also can go to Project Rise and try to get some for signage.
Yeah.
Where would you suggest the signage?
Would be nice. Yeah,
I also have some money in the account, I could probably. Down, I don't know, can you put them on the rail trail? Can you put them?
well, you can put, it seems to me the place where you want them is right out by the road where the canoes are.
Right.
I'm not sure who,
Well, I got the big sign on the kayak building.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's back from the road.
Yeah, you can't see
And if you're zipping by and, you know.
So we should put one by the cemetery then?
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, I
Okay.
think that would be great.
Okay, I
'Cause,
can do that.
um,
And say, you know, and advertise that they're,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was a late summer thing, so I didn't finish everything I could have, but that's good, and we probably should do a newspaper article. That goes local though, but. Or maybe on the, do they have advertising on the, Northern Forest Canoe Trail at all?
You know, I don't know.
Could see if they could put it on their,
I can check.
okay,
It's,
we are a trail
they
town.
must have some,
Yeah, it says
I
when
mean,
you get to Richford, you can get
Yeah.
bicycles and canoes.
right, it's, they must have things, 'cause the people canoeing has gotta know where the campsites are and
Right,
that sort of
right,
thing.
yeah, because we are a
That'd be
trail
nice.
town, so it
Yeah.
should be on there.
Yeah, anyway, yeah,
Surprisingly, a lot went out last summer just locally, so that was a good start anyway.
okay,
Yeah. Call
okay,
me.
so I'll be in contact with you when
Okay.
I have an application. Okay,
Thank you. Anita?
Yep.
shut this thing off. There it is.
This button's too small though.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When Lemoyle came over, they talked, because went over, it's a lot of things that.
Who, Lemoyle?
Lemoyle, ambulance came over, we talked about some resources for, like, for collecting on our bills that we send out. One is this, it's a collection agency called Absolute Credit, which costs us nothing up front. It's called Soft Collections, where they work with people that, I try to collect the money first. And after possibly, say, 90 days, I would submit it to them, and they work with the people to set up payment plans. And they take 29% of what they collect, but it costs us
So they
nothing
do-
up front.
But they do
Nothing,
cost- It does cost us.
right, not up front. We don't have to.
Right, but
that's
20% of every bill.
29% of what's left over, and it's usually a couple $100 on most of them. But this is just for bills that we haven't been able to collect. Where if a lot of people, if there's a threat, they're gonna be sent to collections, it's gonna ruin their credit. Sometimes they'll work with them and set up a payment plan, and that something's better than nothing. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention to see what you thought about it.
Do they
If you
use
wanted
it?
to go that, yes, they do. If they don't collect, if they can't collect it, it doesn't cost us anything, they have a lot more access to like locations and,
So if they collected $100 and they would collect it themselves, keep $29 and send us the rest.
yes.
We wouldn't do any of the paperwork.
And that's remainder of what's been already paid on a,
Yeah, most of it's people that don't have supplemental insurance to their
Right.
primary insurance. It's usually left over. Or people who don't have any insurance, people who are self-pays.
That's why they should join the ambulance thing.
They should, which I try to encourage. I do send them, I send them applications, but some people, they just,
Be cheaper.
yeah.
And we actually lose money on them, so.
Hmm.
Because most of the people that do already do the subscriptions are people that pay their bills.
They are,
So-
yes.
And they're
Yeah.
paying, what, $75 for the whole family to go to the hospital.
Right.
And one call out of their house is what, $400 somewhere around there, that we're actually losing most, the majority of that. So personally, I don't think the subscription's a great idea.
Well, it isn't for us, it is for people, the people in
Right.
The
town.
people in town, it's a great idea, but
Well,
Back in the day, it probably was.
well, it said that those people have those subscriptions also have insurance.
Yeah, I know.
So it actually is good for us for
some of them.
for some.
yeah, actually for most of them.
Yeah.
It's good for us. I mean, I just didn't know what you thought about if we wanted to use a collection agency or not. If we wanted to go this route, this is a good,
Do
Are we
have a
in need of
big-
it?
we've got quite a bit out there that's,
Like approximately, how much is out there? Thousands? Hundreds, really?
thousands, you know.
How old are they though? Is there a time limit?
Is there,
Like if you haven't billed them for 10 years?
if I'm billing them right along, and submitting to the insurance companies, this isn't anything that the insurance company's gonna pay, this is what they're gonna pay.
Right, I understand
So,
that.
yeah, so, at this, it's 7 years.
What would be the time period before you wanted to turn it over?
I think I would give, would be 90 days for them.
And send it to a collection rate at 90 days?
That's what, usually what they do, that gives them time. That's for insurance, if it's for insurance companies, if it's for personal, I would probably wait like the
Well,
6
insurance would
months.
pay though, probably.
Sometimes even insurance companies aren't paying, get sent to collections and
Really?
end paying.
I think they'd have to pay.
But that, I don't see us having that issue. So for us, for a private pay person, we'd probably be like 6 months, give them 6
I would
months
say more
before.
than 90 days.
Because when they get it, send them a warning and they give them 30 days to reply before they even get sent to collections.
Right, and this goes right straight.
So that gives them-
10 days and
that's
doesn't go to
4
collections, and
Yeah,
he's
so
missing the
that's,
next step
yeah,
Before collections.
yeah. So that pushes it out to 4 months, but of course, once we send it to them, we can't collect it ourselves.
Right,
If they
it has
pay
to go
us, then we
through
send
them.
it to them and they'll, you know.
Oh, so if
yeah,
they pay us directly, you have to send them the money, the 29%?
Right. Once it's sent to them, yes. Because they've done all the legwork to submit that and,
Right.
yeah.
All right. Huh.
I mean, I didn't know what you thought about that, if that's something,
Yeah, I suppose we have to.
Is this just for old bills or new bills?
She's
All-
saying
all bills.
All bills.
that aren't being paid.
I guess the one thing that comes to my mind is, for the first time this year, we're gonna be using taxpayer dollars for our ambulance. And, you know, somebody who's a homeowner and pays taxes in Richford, if their insurance doesn't pay their whole ambulance bill, are we gonna, you know, are you talking sending somebody to a collection agency who's already
Paying for it.
paying for the ambulance? I don't know, it's just a question.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good point, though. It's being paid, yeah, that's a good point.
Their tax dollars are they're paying
Keeping
the
it open,
ambulance.
yeah. It would be
Do we
limited.
want to send those
Yeah.
people to collection?
Would it be limited maybe more to just people who are self-pay people? Who don't have
No,
any
you can't,
insurance?
You can't
segregate like
can't
that.
segregate, it, yeah.
Yes.
But again, I mean,
But it's no difference, she
It's-
pays her
a
bills, I
bill's
don't
a
pay mine,
bill.
we both pay the ambulance, but
I-
she's paying
yeah.
hers, I don't, and I should go to collections.
I send them a statement
Would you need it?
requesting them to contact me to set up a payment plan. So, I mean, and actually, I've been putting, we could put it out, to avoid collections, please call me to set up a payment plan, so that, to encourage
Do it
them
here.
to do it through
Call or
us.
email.
Do any
Right.
reply on that?
Yeah. What's that?
Is there any reply on that? On your
I've got a couple, but
I was gonna say, how old are I'd like to know what we had for collectible stuff. Is it 10 years old, is it,
no,
it's all new stuff.
no. This
And
is,
you're not
this would be
able to
stuff that's like
collect.
2 years, the stuff that I'm looking at, there's some that's still in there that's like 2 years old.
And the
between a
average is
year
a
and 2
couple
years.
$100s, it's not thousands or.
Oh, yeah, some of them are like around, are over $1,000, some are average about $800. There's
That-
several out
It's more
there.
than one call though. Must be.
No.
No?
No,
That's
one
about
call
what
would be
one
about,
call is.
One
and if you
call
don't-
is 800.
If you don't have insurance, it's what the call
Join the-
is. So,
Yeah, I
mean,
know, I know.
You know, I mean, I
the
see
thing
what
is-
Alan's saying, but if
I mean, it's
if
so-
you
it
don't,
is-
if you don't
yeah.
pay your bill,
Yeah.
then
Sell houses at tax
it's
sale.
gonna cost the taxpayers a lot more money.
right, that's what I was, the way I was looking
To
at
run
it.
the system versus, you know, a portion, and a lot of that is if it's anything over from, I mean, last year, it wasn't,
I know,
I mean, I
it was
could,
self-sufficient then.
yeah.
I mean, I could do
But
bills
these
that
are-
are over a year old.
These
even.
are reasons why it's
Give them a
not
year.
self-sufficient, that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing, it's
Right.
like,
Yeah,
Because they don't pay.
well, if every call, you know, you do 500 calls a year, you know, it's,
yeah.
And they have the option of paying $75. That's the thing.
It's $60.
60.
Yeah.
We offer them an opportunity for $60 to go free.
Yes,
So that, it's pretty
for
good.
the remainder,
Yes.
yeah.
Amy?
I have a question regarding the subscription program. I have, my career was in EMS, and I'm fairly knowledgeable with billing. With a subscription service, typically, that doesn't negate billing the subscriber's insurance at all.
No, we do that
just
first.
for the remainder.
This is the remainder,
So,
yeah.
so really.
Or if you don't have any.
Yeah.
From what I'm just hearing in an overview, a subscription, an increase in subscription members isn't going to make a big difference. Recovery of revenue, and I know you said that it's tax-based funded now, or will be this year, in which case, generally with contractual services, fees charged to towns are based on an amount per capita. And that's what the base amount is to provide a service. It doesn't cover management of the service, but what it would be contractually paid to have a service. And really it is to keep an EMS service, whether private, municipal, or hospital-based, is insurance billing. That is what is gonna keep the ambulance service running. So the idea of utilizing collections, it's a revenue recovery issue. Whether or not a person has insurance or not, that's unfortunate, but they're utilizing a service. So, and that is, I know from my career experience, generally, within the insurance industry, they only pay a percentage to begin with
Right.
of what's billed. So they're already cutting a chunk off the top. So really, you know, I think the idea of utilizing a revenue recovery service, if it's that much of an issue, is long-term, it's gonna help the service stay viable.
And that's primarily where we struggle, because it could be an $800 call, but the insurance company says, well, we're only gonna pay you 500. Well, sometimes it costs us more than 500 to go on that call, so we're losing money, you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
Even though it is funded through tax money, it would be a lot more if, you know,
Yeah.
it really is important to, I mean, the more revenue we can make, the less the taxpayers will have to pay to run the service.
Well, I think you collect in any business anyway.
You need to.
I mean, Notch collects,
It's a
they
fee for
send out a
service.
collection.
That's
Right.
whether municipal or otherwise. It's-
If you go to the hospital and you don't
They-
pay your bill,
they
it goes
collect,
to
yeah.
collections.
I'm just wondering the time frame. I'm all for it, I just think, how long should we give them before we send it to
Well,
collection?
she's doing 3 months, and then they do
They
it
do
for
a
a
month.
month,
So you
so
think
that's
that's
4
enough?
months
That's
out.
4 months out.
And
Or
then-
we could give them, yeah,
That's fine,
yeah.
that's fine.
But the things, in the part that I liked about this particular one is it is called soft collections. They don't hound the people, they work with them to try to set up payment plans on what they can afford. They don't push them, they like to try to get them to pay it off in a certain amount of time, but if they can't, then they work with them to
Right.
pay what they can.
Notch, if you pay your bill when you go, like right off, they give you 10% discount if you pay it right that day. That, I think probably brings in a lot of people
Right.
who would save too. I don't know if we wanna go through all that paperwork, but.
Yeah. And the other thing is our rates are well below
Yeah.
other services, so I was
I know.
working with some, I'm checking on some other ones to bring our rates up to be more comparable with surrounding services, so. I mean, in a lot of cases, that's not gonna change revenue and with certain insurance providers, but others will pay, there's certain insurance providers that do pay the full amount,
Right.
so.
You actually talked to them, or did you just talk to Lemoyle? Have you talked to?
I talked to these
So you got all
people.
the
Yeah, I
info.
have, actually, I can leave this folder here with this, as long as I get it back, if you wanna take a look at it.
I'm good with it.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
As long as you've talked to them.
She also did tell him a little bit about that other thing with the mileage.
Oh, yes. I was able to find out how to use the code for our, because we're rural, we have our time that we're out of service on the way back with no patient. And we also have some of the places we go to along that's further out, we have that time. I can use all those times and add it together, and it's per hour, I can get $100 per hour on Medicaid, on primary Medicaid only.
We got a lot of that.
Yeah, so I
That's
actually,
cool. That's very cool.
I started billing that out,
Excellent.
yeah,
Good
What did
job.
we figure the other day? It was gonna be like 10,000 a year?
Wow.
possibly,
Yeah,
yeah.
roughly.
I mean, I don't know how much they pay of that 100, but Medicaid, we'll see.
Yeah, well, anything,
With Medicaid payment, excuse me.
yeah. Anything helps.
Yeah, so I'll go over what the other surrounding areas are charging for their rates, and I'll come up with a list and a comparison, what we're charging now, and where I think that we should be for that, you know.
Sounds good.
Now, where would the mileage money come from? Medicaid?
It's not mileage, it's time.
Time, not
Yeah.
mileage.
Right.
And that's just, it has to be, the primary insurance has to be Medicaid,
Which is good.
yeah,
Yeah, because we have a lot of that.
yeah. Now, if they have Medicare and their supplemental insurance is Medicaid, I can't do it on that.
Right. Very good. That's good news.
Yeah, okay.
So, we're doing
Okay,
it?
I'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fill that out.
all right,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
very much.
Amend and approve minutes from February 3rd meeting. Anybody got anything?
I didn't see anything, make a motion to accept them.
I do have a question on that.
Oh, you have a correction?
Yes, in regard to my bringing up the sidewalk issue, I did state that there are tripping hazards there
I
specifically.
can't add something that you're saying now, though.
No, I said it at the meeting.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
so-
say specifically.
So Wood asked if there's a master plan for sidewalk repair. He said the sidewalk is rough, and he mentioned having a curb cut. I guess I thought rough was.
No, I did say there were some tripping hazards there.
And you want me to add that? It's up to the board. I thought rough was enough, but you want to add tripping.
He said the
hazards.
sidewalk on Academy Lane,
Had tripping hazards.
I guess, if that's what you wanted to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has tripping hazards.
Yep.
Okay.
Sherry, did you make a motion, or are you still
Yes, I
waiting
did.
for?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes approved. Okay, I got some stuff tonight. So I went up to the property on Green Avenue, waited up there, nobody came to contest us giving the property back to Ramey and Rossi.
Nice.
Maybe I better put in what time you went today.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah, 5:15 to like probably 5:40-ish.
And that was what was advertised if they wanted to come up.
Yes, yes, anyone had any concerns. So I got this is all the paperwork from the attorney. I signed it here because I'm the only person that went there. And I just need everybody's signature on the back page.
But, am I notarizing your signatures? All of them?
Not
Just
this one,
yours?
no, the quitclaim deed you are.
Okay, you've already
And then
signed.
Alan's gonna sign that one, I have not.
Don't, okay, good. That's what I was gonna ask you. 'Cause I have to watch you sign it.
Yep, this is a copy of the quitclaim deed and I need a witness too. So Alan, you wanna witness it? I'll just come over here.
Alright, this is,
On this.
Quitclaim.
17th day of February, witness.
what's the date today, 2/17? And then you sign your name, or if I don't, sign your name here. So,
Right here?
Yeah.
And was there anything in that building that we need to do as far as the old water that needs to be capped, shut off, disconnected?
I ran it by Daryl once before and he said he thought everything was okay, but I'll just
Double
run
check.
it by him again just to make sure.
And there was a lock on the door to that. We probably don't have a key to that, do we? I'll just tell them cut it.
Yeah.
Probably the only one that.
And they're gonna come in tomorrow and give you $1.
This is the
Probably the only one that
17th.
would have the key would be,
February 17th.
Gary Shoulder, maybe.
Might have one.
I'll just have them cut the lock.
It might be
all-
one of our regular locks. They're all the
It
same.
looked
key.
all rusted. The other thing that I was gonna talk to him about, I'm not sure, the mailbox that's right there. I mean, that's probably gonna have to stay there. I'm sure Ramey's okay with it, but, cause there's a box for everybody that lives up on that hill right at the bottom.
Probably in the right of way of the road anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's right on the edge of the road pretty much, but. So I'll give that to Kylie to file and then it'll be theirs.
What's this?
And that's the other one that we gotta file.
Oh, okay. That doesn't have to be notarized.
That doesn't need to be notarized, no. The purchasing policy that Kylie wrote up, everyone have a chance to look at that?
Did quickly.
For the FEMA money.
They did with
Just another way. Let me get this written down first.
it. Guess I don't have it.
I got it here.
36 Green Avenue.
Linda, did you get a chance to read over the
Yep,
purchasing policy?
yep, we looked at it the other day, Kylie. I was looking at it.
You know what this one's called?
Oh, I've seen it. I think I'm good with it anyway. I can look at it over quick.
Didn't we go through it a few times over and over and she only changed a couple of things?
No, she just made that one this
Oh,
last
that's
week.
all new. Okay, yeah. No,
This is my house.
something over your shoulder.
Okay.
Here, look at that one.
Oh,
I've-
thanks.
I've looked at it.
Oh, okay.
I was good with it.
I think I questioned, let me just look at it back. I think I questioned, I'll have to look at the exact wording. For example, if I go buy a canoe with grant money, I shouldn't have to come and ask everybody every time I bought a canoe.
Cause that's over $250.
Yeah. And I brought that up before with the old one. I mean, if I had a grant for $8,000, I'm going out shopping for canoes and kayaks. I can't come back, I get some here, I got some wherever they're on sale. Cause you've already approved my budget, right?
Right,
Is that understood?
That's kind of the same with me, like if I go to
Right.
buy truck tires or something.
You can't
Your
You've
budget's
ask us
already
that.
approved me to spend the money to
Exactly.
buy tires.
So that's an we're all agreeing to that
I agree with that.
that if we've already said yes, you're doing this grant, that, yeah, okay, just checking.
We kinda already talked about that
Yeah.
a long time
Yeah,
ago
I just wanna make
anyways.
sure we all are on the same, I mean, if you all of a sudden had to buy a new big part for $2,000 that just came up, then you put it to us.
Right, but he already has in his budget so much for repairs too. for
Right,
things that
but there are
happen.
times when we have, it's
Above
happened with
what?
water and sewer too, where
Yeah,
we wanna look at different prices sometimes.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
do. I know.
Just wanna make sure it's clear.
Excuse me.
We calling it a purchase policy or a
Procurement. policy.
procurement?
We have to have that in place
Yep,
for
for the
the,
other thing.
for the Halloween flood to get FEMA reimbursed. We basically gotta have a procurement policy in place. We have a purchase policy, but not a procurement policy.
Somebody got my master copy?
What is it?
Probably.
Okay, yeah, you reading it?
Yeah. With the bidding on jobs, they want us to open up all bids and say how much everybody bid on a job.
Yeah, you should.
Public.
Should get three bids and make it public.
And what if you can't get three? I've been there so many times.
You can.
Then you
Sometimes
can't.
you can only get one.
I just find somebody to do it.
Right, that's a.
That's been the problem for me.
I think that's in there, if you can't get 3 bids, isn't it? Doesn't say that? That,
I think there's a clause that kind of
Yeah.
describes.
I think it's in there.
Good with it, Sherry?
I am. Okay, let's skip on it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the purchasing slash procurement, I guess, policy.
Yeah, that's what we're
And we all gotta sign it, right?
I'll make a second.
Everyone in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye. This 17th
Yep,
day, February. Oh, Kylie's gonna have all kinds of papers to file.
have fun.
I was gonna touch base quick on the intelligent base policing. Remember they came, we've had I've had one meeting with them so far, and we're gonna have another meeting this Friday night at 5. And they would like as many residents that we can get to go to the meeting to go. So if you guys can make it, that would be great.
When is it?
It's this Friday at 5.
Oh, you're at town
So,
hall.
yeah, we had a meeting 2 weeks ago on a Friday night here, and we had like 8 people came because he didn't want a lot of people. Just wanted to kind of handpick some people to see what everyone thought about it, and everybody who came was very excited about it and wants to continue with it, and I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, if you guys can come.
This is state police, not,
Yeah, Vermont State Police, and it's just, you can put IBP, it's
Yeah, I
Intelligent
got
Based
that.
Policing. So we tried to advertise it, he put a couple ads in the paper, he said he thought maybe Channel 3 or Channel 5 might come. So,
I was gonna say where's Sherry showing them.
I'm on the other page.
She was on the back page.
so if anybody can come, it'd be great.
Okay.
More the merrier.
You said Friday?
Friday at 5, yeah. It'll probably take an hour, hour and a half. I'm gonna skip going into executive session, try to just go in once rather than go in and come back out. Okay? Scott, water and sewer?
Don't have a whole lot, I guess, with water and sewer. We keep, we had a study done and they mapped and did all our valves and all that with Eldridge and what's the other guy's name? Elliott, yeah, Eldridge and Elliott. And they keep sending us paperwork on getting a loan from the state on upgrading our water system. And this is something I guess the previous board before I came in decided not to do. They were gonna just use their capital funds to finance any repairs or anything they upgraded or advanced with. I don't know, I guess you people all must have got the email on this too, but I know I've gotten it a couple, 3 times, so.
I pressed them on that when we were doing that grant to make sure that if we took that grant money and they did this study, that didn't lock us
No, it
into
doesn't.
Right.
anything. They would recommend that we replace a line, but they could not force us to
Right.
take out a loan or do anything.
Right.
The select board decided, I made sure that the select board decides when we do that, not Aldrich and Elliott.
Right.
Then I was,
They were only interested in getting us that original. Let me ask you this, did we pay Aldrich and Elliott already?
yeah, but we got reimbursed by the
So
grant.
it did come back, we've gotten that
We got
50,000
all-
back.
Right.
I was wondering about that.
But my concern wasn't just the water
Oh, yeah.
lines, it was all the equipment. If they say a piece of equipment was
Right.
needed to be replaced, did we have to do it? And they said, no.
Right.
No,
It's
no,
strictly a recommendation, not a requirement.
unless the
Well, I know
state
they
tells us.
pushed this loan last year, and I kept getting paperwork on it, and they're starting to do the same thing again this year, so I guess we
I
just,
don't think they're pushing, I think they're just trying to make us aware that if we need it.
It's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it would, I don't know, would they wouldn't have anything to do with it, Aldrich and Elliott after that, would they?
Shouldn't.
No, they were just to do
well,
the
unless
study.
if we're gonna do an
the study.
upgrade, they're hoping to get a bid in and
But
be
they don't
involved
do-
in the engineering
the
probably is what they're
engineering
hoping
maybe,
in, yeah.
But they've already done that, that was the 50,000.
Yeah, but if you go to
Another
upgrade another
project.
water line or something, they wanna do
Right.
the engineering and they'll want their cut, I guess
Yeah.
is
But
why
I
they
don't think
keep
it's
pushing
pressure,
this,
yeah.
but we've decided, or
Not to do it.
we didn't decide, the previous board decided not to even investigate getting
Right.
a state revolving loan, so.
Yeah.
We now know what it
Alan looked
needs.
at that the other day, I had
Yeah.
it too, and he said he thought we were
Yeah.
good to ignore it.
Yeah, we're
Well,
ignoring
we
it.
should probably tell them we're not interested. We should probably write back and just say we, at this time, we're not gonna, otherwise they'll keep sending us
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, they've been good to us, they're a good partner, so we should.
As far as anything else with water and sewer, I guess we're good.
Sherry?
Buildings, nothing's really changed. Richie is looking at the front door here. Linda just told me about her key in the lock. So I will talk to him tomorrow about that. Alan and I walked around the building. Going to talk to Bobby about, I just haven't been able to catch the base of them, left a couple messages. Maybe some more, something for ice.
Oh, the ice,
Yeah, maybe they
Came
can put
over
some more
the other
metal
day.
ridges on next summer or something for next winter because it just is so bad when it comes down. It's huge amounts.
what do they call those?
Ice guards?
Ice guards?
Is that what they are?
Snow guards,
Snow guards.
snow guards, what?
So-
Better ones?
I don't know how you're gonna avoid, you know,
I don't
I
know.
don't know how you're gonna avoid the ice in the valleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger thing, I think, of the snow and ice that comes off right in the driveway.
Yeah, it goes bang on both sides.
Yeah, somebody driving a car through could get
Scary.
hit or
So
walking.
just maybe some options he may have, or somebody may have, another roofer, whoever. See if we can get some options up, that maybe.
And we didn't even have those on there with the old roof.
No.
Yeah, but you had shingles before.
That's true, I
Yeah.
didn't slide like that.
The steel unloads snow a lot different than shingles do.
Right.
Yep.
And I hate walking out the back door sometime,
And we lose a lot of heat through that roof.
even now.
That would stop some of the ice problem if you could get it insulated and
That was one
didn't
of
have the
my things
roof
for this
getting
coming
warm
year.
and thawing.
That's what it is all of that ice, it's because there is no insulation in the ceiling, and it's wide open to the second story, which goes into the projection room, which, or light room, which is right open to the attic,
Didn't the
so.
neighbor come over the other day about it?
He came over about the ice, but then when I went out, looked at the ice hanging down, there was 2 big piles of snow right in the middle of the driveway. that
Had
off
come
the
down,
roof.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
something waiting to happen there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they parked their cars out there.
You better not
He
park
parked his
there.
car right there,
He
right
does
underneath
though,
this.
he does though.
Right.
So I'm gonna,
We've had to
we
pay
can't say no
before.
parking, we can say watch for falling ice
Put a
and
sign at the
snow.
bottom of the drive, parking at our own risk.
Well, we've already been through that with him,
Mhm.
cost us money,
Oh,
So,
right?
but that's basically all I've got going on.
Okay. Jacques, you got anything for highways?
Not much, except for, like we mentioned, Scott, did you come up with anybody to be in charge while you're taking a day off or what? Or on vacation?
Not really, I
No.
haven't come up with anybody. I got people in mind, but
Right.
I don't know. I'm on my way of stepping out here sometime within the next year or so. I don't know if you want to give thoughts on somebody to step in and be road foreman, or if you want to pick somebody that's from the fleet over there now, or what wants to happen here. This road foreman thing is turning into quite a lot of, well, could be more computer work and a lot more updated stuff than I even want to deal with, so. You know, I'm to the point where I don't want to learn all this stuff and
They're more hands-on.
access a computer all the time and sit behind a desk. That's not me. I'd rather be out in the ditch with a hand shovel.
Right.
I don't know if you want to start looking for another man. I don't know, stuff to think about, food for thought.
Have to advertise it or?
Is it I mean, it's necessary to have a road foreman, but.
Right.
Well, it's just,
It's quite a lot involved if you want to do it and do it right.
Right.
the grants and those type of things where if, you know, I don't know, if we did hire somebody to work, to assist the select board and do
Right.
those things, you know,
We
maybe,
need it.
I think we ought to document things a lot more than what we ever have documented
Yeah.
before. Like, I'm not documenting if a culvert washes out on Town Highway 22, it's not documented, and how many loads of gravel are put there to, that's what FEMA is looking for. If you can show documentation where this certain culvert is washed out 3 times and you fixed it, they'll basically, under this flood thing here, if it had washed out, if you had proof that it washed out before, they'll come in and fix it for you and pay for it, really. It all comes down to documentation. We haven't done that for years that I know of.
But if you get a foreman that's gonna do all this documentation, he's not gonna be a hands-on foreman either.
No, he's not.
well, that's what I was,
So you got this extra guy doing all this paperwork, well, you want somebody that's doing the work, doing the real work.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, that's kinda
Too much
again where
Double-edged sword.
this person, we're thinking of grant writer, and, you know, there's room for another person in the town of Richford, but it involves a lot of hats, like,
Right.
a lot more of this computer work and documentation on the highways.
yeah, and just keeping
Maybe
track of
somebody
all
could do
that
it.
stuff.
Highway will keep you busy most of the day, I would
Be
think.
less paperwork for Scott anyways.
And then he doesn't have to, yeah.
You know.
It's just stuff we gotta
And
think
it's-
about,
it's-
it's coming.
It's hard to think you know, if you wanna find a good working foreman that can do all the work and stuff out there
They don't wanna do
and
the
run the
computer.
equipment and do all that, well, that person's probably not interested in doing all
Right.
the grants and the paperwork and all
The
those.
computer
things.
guy
That's
doesn't
where
wanna
like
go out
the
with the shovel.
different types of
Correct.
people.
Right.
That's
Correct.
where a public works director or something comes in, it's
Yeah,
more
yes.
in the office and doing that type of work. But I don't know, I think it's leading in that direction, everything's getting so much more complicated, and you gotta be accountable for everything for sure. I don't know, it would be nice to just put somebody second in command, so days I'm not there, there's not
Right now.
questions on, well, I'm not gonna do this, and, you know, he's in charge when I'm not there, and that's the way it is, you know.
Right now, there's probably not too many down there that would like to take your position.
They don't
No,
seem to be knocking the door down to get it. Jason's the type that takes the bull by the horns and just gets stuff done, it's just his natural demeanor, that's the way he is, he just
Right.
gets things done.
And then, no, if we put him, road foreman, then would he do like you've been doing the paperwork too?
Well, we'd have to, I guess, at least the days I'm not there.
Right?
I've only been doing this a
Yeah,
year or something, and I can see there's room for a lot more to be done as far as the documentation and being on top of the grants and dealing with the different, you know, with FEMA, that's getting your money out of those people. everything's gotta be documented, you gotta, it was a lot to take in the other day when we went to
Yeah.
that. Quite a lot to it.
We may not get it for another year either, so, takes forever.
I just wanted to throw that out there so we can be thinking about it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're good?
Yep. Good for the time being.
Linda?
Everything's under snow. I was looking at a grant the other day to fix some of the stones up on East Richford slide, just some that are really bad, so. There's $1,000 I can probably get from the Vermont Cemetery Association, I can do a couple of them. That's about it, nothing going on with me.
Has anybody approached you from Hillside Cemetery at all?
Heard something the other day, nobody approached me, but what did I hear the other day? You got something specific?
Well, the association up there is dwindling
Yeah,
pretty fast.
yeah,
I heard rumor that it may be just get handed to the town of Richford.
we have to take it if it,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I just
No,
wondered
nobody's
if you-
actually-
I just wondered if you'd heard
No.
anything.
what part of it, don't we own part of it, do we mow? We own the,
From the building down.
from
we
the
own-
building down is like a popper's
And the rest of it
area.
from the building up is the
Right, and
association.
they take care of that.
They
No.
do their own mowing and,
Yeah, if they give up their association, it'd be just like the one we took over, was it Whiteman Hill? Right
means a
there.
little bigger contract for whoever's doing our mowing, they're gonna have to start doing that
Can you
too.
imagine mowing Hillside?
It's a hard one.
It is.
but
So
I
we'd have
think
to
it's
take it
coming.
over. Yeah, we'd have to take it over.
It's a
but
beautiful
they haven't-
cemetery though.
Hmm?
It's a beautiful
Oh, it
cemetery.
is, it is. It's just I think, well, mowing that and, but they haven't come yet, but we'd
I've
have
heard
to do it.
rumors.
Yeah,
Pretty-
I've heard
pretty
things about
direct.
it, yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna happen.
It is. It is. Somebody just asked me the other day who was in charge of it, and I think it's Turcotte.
Danny
Yeah,
Turcotte.
that's what I told them. Yep, no, they haven't come to me yet.
Are you in charge of the fire department?
You say I am, so yeah.
Okay.
What, you got a complaint?
Yeah, how come they haven't took their air conditioning down, out the window yet? Maybe it wouldn't have so much heat going
That's the
out.
building. Ask her.
That'd be me.
That'd be her. I got the man, she's got the building.
Okay.
I said the same thing the other day. I
But do
was
they
like,
work, do they,
No, it shut off it, but they just.
Do they
But
leak
it's still,
heat?
it's still probably losing heat through there.
Chances are it probably is.
Yeah, it is. I was up there the other day and I
Yeah.
was like, why is that still in the
I
window?
wonder why they don't take them out. I don't know, they didn't take them out the last
That's her.
one year. That's her, yeah. So you can take care of
I
that,
don't think
Sherry?
they've taken them out last year either. I don't believe they took them
I'm
out.
sure they have a reason, but,
Um,
I mean, why?
Yeah, they're heavy.
but, and also to store them too, where would they store it?
That's
And I
true.
mean, they got a huge area, but they've.
Do they have
utilize a
anything
lot.
around them, like to keep the heat? No?
No, but they could easily do that.
They
though.
could insulate around them.
They could insulate
Yeah.
around it and cover it up on the inside.
So you're gonna ask?
I will
about that?
ask.
Okay.
AC.
Air conditioners.
We still gotta tackle that generator down there too this spring.
Yeah, it won't take long to do it, it's just coordinate it and get it so they can hook up their little generator in case there was an issue where they had to get out. Power was out and the doors were down, they couldn't open the doors or something. I don't think it'd take that long to fix
I
it.
think the doors are not just power, I think they're manual too.
You can unhook them and open
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard anything about those other two generators, the schools? I know we had to fill them up with fuel. Did anything,
Yeah, you
did
guys went
they
and
check
looked at
them or
'em.
anything?
You and Kyle went and looked at him, right?
Not lately. Back this spring, we looked at them for service, but,
Oh, I just had them filled.
well, the school called and said
Right.
that the one up to the high school was basically on empty and needed to be fueled and
Right.
nobody, Alan, since he's been here, doesn't even
We
seem
don't
to-
ever remember filling them
No.
since I've been here
Well, I think
either.
I'd have
Paid
fuel
for it
with-
if we
We
did.
never, maybe the school paid for it. And then there was some issue with the telephone pole bothering the one down there, but I
Yeah.
called the electric company and they supposedly were gonna
We
take
went
care
down,
of it.
plowed it out, and they were gonna fix it, and they
Okay.
couldn't get to it because they had issues, and then they called us to go down and plow it out again.
So they did do
And I
it.
don't know if they did get it done the second time, I didn't get a
Cause did
chance.
that prevent them from filling it up with fuel, did they say?
I don't
No.
know that.
I'll have to ask Robert.
We went down and plowed it out for them one day, but
Okay.
they never did get there to fix the problem, so.
Okay, but they did know
It's
that.
very complicated to me why the town owns the generators that are at the school. I just
Oh,
can't
because they're
figure
for
that
the
out.
Town, emergency. It's, they're only conveniently there because that's where you'd go if you had to have shelter. You'd go to the
Gotcha.
schools, and that's why they're there, I would assume. I mean, they've
The
been-
town got them, I guess, apparently.
Yeah,
It was
under
very
agreement.
great.
Yeah,
I knew
It's the
that.
town's-
I mean, where else would you put them?
Town's
you know?
responsibility to maintain them and keep them fueled.
That's where the Red Cross would be set up, so you'd have to have them there.
So the town technically owns the generators, the school doesn't own them? Oh, okay.
Right, they're
I thought
ours.
the school
no.
owned them, but we
they're
maintained
ours.
them, and I'm like, I can't figure that out.
They're part of our whole emergency deal.
The towns.
Yeah. But maybe we haven't had to put fuel in because they haven't used them, I don't know.
Well, the one at the high school.
They start every week.
Starts every week, I would think
Oh, it
over
does?
8 years or 9
I
years.
bet they send the bill to the school.
Says they never fuel but ill.
Yeah, you'd think so. Well, I've been here 10 years, and you've been here how many?
9, I suspect the school's probably just been paying for it. But
Cut that out of our video.
Okay, recognized guest? One guest.
One guest, one quick question, still learning a lot of things. Is there any type of contract or agreement for towing off of town highways or town properties?
We have an agreement, I guess, with Rick Mason. I don't think it's a contract, is it?
No.
Are you talking about for plowing issues or just abandoned
Just
cars?
Abandoned or any towing deemed
don't.
necessary? Okay, I received feedback I had cause to have an abandoned vehicle towed off private property, and Mr. Mason is a little confused as to what the agreement covers in regard to, he should have been called to do it, and it's like, it was private property, so.
Wait a minute, can you just explain a little bit?
I-
You had a car,
An abandoned vehicle towed off private property by an outside towing company.
okay, but the
Mr.
private
Mason.
property person, the person that owned the property asked it to be towed?
Yes, I did. I was
Okay, we're talking about
responsible.
you,
Yep,
so
yep.
that's your right.
Yes, so I guess there's some confusion in regard to whatever agreement might be there as to what he's supposed to be called for, but he was upset because he lost a fee, but it's.
How did he even know you had a car towed?
Very
You know.
convoluted situation.
All right, I
mean,
understand.
it was reasonable how he found, there's no
Okay.
issue there, but his contention was it was his to do. so-
But it was on your property?
Yeah,
Yeah,
property I'm responsible for, so.
okay.
No, there's no.
We don't have a contract.
So, yeah, again, I'm not making a big stink, but I just did, clarification, both from my knowledge as well as.
Yeah, probably ought to say something to him.
It has nothing to do with us.
True.
We've only hired him just to take care, just to,
Snowed in,
Yeah.
on the street.
just
My
under the winter
understanding-
parking ban.
Yeah, my understanding is that he said he had a contract with the town. So,
Not to tow every vehicle.
yeah, again, that's just not to
No,
create,
this
but
is
if,
for the winter band,
yeah.
for towing.
Or if we
winter
had
band.
a car on our town property that was abandoned, we'd probably have him tow it.
Right.
But other than that,
But
that
that's
would be
on our
per,
property.
hey, Rick, come tow this car. It
Yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah,
a-
again, I think it's great he's local too, because you
Yeah.
don't have to wait
Yeah.
hours for
Right,
somewhere else.
Right.
But-
Just
But no,
for
as,
my own
as,
knowledge.
as regular citizens of the town, no, you have the right to just call whoever
Right.
you want.
Okay, I was just trying to expand my knowledge and.
Yeah.
So. And also, thank you to Town Highway for that miserable storm over 2 days. I was just, it was a no-win situation, but you guys did good.
Thank you.
That's appreciated. So,
Appreciate it.
all right, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session to discuss our town attorney. Jacques wants to do a winter plowing employee review, and Alan and Sherry, I'd like to follow up with the talk about the garbage contract from the
Yes.
last time that we met. Just kind of get everybody's thoughts, and I've been talking with Alan a little bit about that, so I'd like to try to wrap those three things up if we can.
Sounds good, that's it? That's the only three things we're gonna do?
Yep.
Okay. I'll second
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And you probably... The board agrees we will no longer contract garbage services for the special district area. And at this time, the highway department will no longer be obligated to pick up yard debris. Somebody want to second it?
I'll
I'll
second
say,
it.
no.
Who's seconding it, Sherry?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then also, as a result of executive session, the board agrees to issue a written warning to a highway employee. And that's it. We can adjourn.